Hello friends, it's Garsen, and you're no istik to the channel. You are Restall. I think that's Githyanki for like friend or ally. But obviously, we're talking about Githyanki, but hold on. We're actually in the middle of an investigation. Let's activate our astral knowledge. Now we have really good proficiency in investigation, and that's good because we're investigating a murder. So, we're going to activate our little hand over here. We're going to pop this. And I have a funny feeling we're about to get into a fight, so let's actually do all this. Let's make our little invisible hand. That's right. I think it's this guy. Wait, that's the Lazel way. Alright. Now, little mage hand, if you would. Alright. Come over here, buddy. Fly, 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 fly. Whoop. Alright, give me a hand, buddy. Let's take this. Whoopsie. Let's take one of these. Come on. Come on. Come on. Grab it. There we go. Can you see it? And come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Why aren't you working? Are we out of actions? No. There we go. Okay. Demonstration! Here we go. Hiya! Take one of these. Thanks, buddy. Now we're hasted, and I didn't have to use a bonus action, which is great because I'm gonna bop this guy so hard he'll fall out of the stratosphere or something. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Aha! Okay, that didn't work. Okay. Damn it. Get him! This is what you get for not letting me cast my spell. Alright, anyway. And you too. Take that, you bastards. Okay. So, this is really just an excuse to check out this really cool build. Alright. And first, let's go ahead. Mage can. Oh, okay. Never mind. Time to kill people by talking to them. Here we go. My specialty. Hi-ya! Speaking of speed potions, give me one of those. Yeah. Die. Die. Look at that damage on a cancer. I love it. Okay. Here we go. What are you gonna do about it? Oh yeah, shield. Cha-ching. That's that psionic warrior. Oh, I'm paralyzed. Help me. Oh. Oh my goodness, no! He's in trouble! It's a good thing we have Mage Hand for free with our racial. Okay, if we could just, you know, select things, it's just... Come on now, buddy. Come on! Come on. No. Throw it, buddy, come on. Ah! You're killing me right now. Come on. Why won't you work? Put it here. Now select it. Okay. Alright. Being really stupid right now. I gotta touch the base. You know what? We're just gonna keep that in the video. Gale, take this! Alright. Well, he'll be safe for now. Fly away, little guy. To safety. Don't worry. I'll deal with this. In fact, I have 2 actions, so I can save you, I think. Hold on. I'll use my Githyanki leap! I gotta hop over there, even though I could have just walked. Alright, so wait, he's paralyzed, right? So that sucks. Yeah, whatever, just keep going with it. Yeah, take that! Even good. Yeah. Eat it. Oh no, you don't. Bonk. No, Gale! Come on, snap out of it, buddy. Yeah, you've done your job. Alright. There you go. I'll show you. Time to mentally pick you up with my mind and yeet you across the screen. Here we go. Okay, we missed that, but whatever. And now we will use our Githyanki fly. I will fly to you and do extra damage with my psionic boots. Hi-ya! Yes. Destroy. Well done, team. The killer got away, but that doesn't matter. We'll find him with our psychic abilities. Alright, that was a little hectic, but it's what we've come to know and love, right? It's all good. So, obviously today we're talking about the Githyankis, right? Let's bust out some notes here as always. Wha-bam! So we're going to dissect the Psionic SPACE FROG race, Githyankis. Obviously a little shout out to Dakota here, and obviously to you guys too. You've been subbing and liking the videos and even commenting and asking things like this. So on that note, let's actually look this up. So Dakota is the reason we're making this video, and I appreciate you. But he listed off all the cool things Githyanki can do and said, wanted to go ahead and drop a video about them. I said, yeah, sure. But we'll actually take a look in depth with the race, show you some cool stuff, and then I'll inject my opinion after the fact so you don't have to be bothered by my opinion. Okay? So let's actually snap over to the notes here. Pop this back. We'll bring that back later. But for now, what we'll do is we'll list off what the race actually gets as a bonus, and try to keep this in the back of your mind. But Gale, I know this is a shocker. He's not a Githyanki, but you can still benefit from it even if you don't choose a Githyanki for your race, right? So, like I said, let's go over it. We're gonna run through it twice, and we're gonna go over the facts, and then we'll go to my opinion. And you can cut that out if you don't really care for that, all right? So remember, if you choose a Githyanki, it's going to be you're gonna be stuck with it. Unlike your class, right? So class, you get to respec from withers. Race and origin, not so much. So maybe do this video as a breakdown, take a look at the benefits, and then weigh the cons, or take my opinion, or form your own, right? But then we'll zip back through these. So let's take a look at, first off, I tried to use them in the little example there. Through levels 1, 3, and 5, you'll actually get these, and I listed them off. You're going to get Githyanki Psionics Jump. So once per long race, even though it says ritual, as you can see here, you don't get to use it as a ritual spell, right? Or I should say, it's per long rest. And so I can reload this and actually show you by example. But these are long rest usage of level 1, you get Mage Hand. Level 3, you get Enhanced Leap. And level 5, you will get Misty Step. All for free, just for leveling your character. So if you're multi-classing, but you ultimately have 5 levels, you still get Misty Step just for being Githyanki, right? These are free spells. These are all on long rest, not short rest, so you get them once per day, right? And then they don't use spell slots, and like I said, it doesn't matter the class and what, it's just your character level, okay? So Enhanced Leap, if you don't already know about it, this is the Githyanki version of it. And then there would be like the Glorious Vaulting or the spell Enhanced Leap. So these are the ritual spells, but the Githyanki version is not a ritual spell, right? I don't just get it. Like ritual being you get it, and if you use it out of combat, obviously it doesn't use the spell or use a spell slot outside of combat. So that's a really handy. The Githyanki version, unfortunately, not so much, right? Mage Hand is a cantrip you can get, but the Githyanki version is, again, long rest, lasts for 10 turns. The cool thing is this one is invisible, unlike other Mage Hands, from what I understand, right? And so if you have Mage Hand from your class, this one would pop out. You get it once per long rest, okay? It comes out invisible. Okay, and then for some reason that dragged off. Give me my Mage Hand. So something like Eldritch Knight can actually get it as a class. This is invisible, lasts for 10 turns for the Githyanki one. And then of course it goes away. You'd have to long rest to get it. This is the one you get just from the class. It's not invisible, but I can cast it per battle, so that's pretty useful, okay? But it's nice to have an extra one, or if it's not in your class, right? That's what I'm trying to spell out. No matter the class, you can still get this. And of course, Misty Step is amazing. You get an extra one per long rest. That's fantastic. With a bunch of items that have it, rings, in your class, you could have a lot of Misty Steps. This adds one more. Pretty handy, okay? So, just hold on to that. Martial Prodigy. So, up to medium armor proficiency. That means you get light armor proficiency and the medium armor proficiency. Remember that Lae'zel starts out with a sort of 15 armor class armor because they use their like fancy, you know, Githyanki, cool looking armors. But basically, you get the armor proficiency for free, okay? And you will also get short, long, and great sword proficiencies as well, right? Which makes a lot of sense because, well, basically, that's why we're wielding this sword right here, right? A lot of these Gith weapons are exactly that in those categories. So, basically, getting free proficiencies, it's never really that bad. I think medium armor is pretty good. Like I said, try not to inject my opinion here, but it's out the gate, so level 1, you can already wield armors and be proficient at weapons. It's pretty good right there. And then Astral Knowledge. Here's a big one. Astral Knowledge, like I was trying to demo in the beginning, Astral Knowledge will let you take, of the 5, or the 6 stats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stats, right? Of these stats, Constitution doesn't have a proficiency table. If we come over here to your proficiency tab, at level 10 you'll be up to 4 proficiency. You guys know how this is, right? So to add a proficiency to any of these, well, for lack of a better term, proficiencies, right? That's pretty good, right? So what you'll do is you'll select one and look at intelligence, for instance, right? I don't have any stars next to it. I have no proficiencies, so I didn't build my character with that in mind. Or did I? I built it because I know that I'm a Githyanki, and when I want to, I can just add them in. And so with my high intelligence stat being 18, I now get a bonus of +4 proficiency plus the +4 from intelligence. Okay, and now I have 8 in all of these. Interesting, right? So whatever checks these might be valued for you. You can switch them on the fly once per long rest. Doesn't have to be intelligence. You can do charisma, wisdom, intelligence, dexterity, or strength. Obviously strength being the least of which you maybe get the benefit of, but we'll go over there. We'll go over it. Okay, and then there is a unique catalog of Githyanki gear, right? Let's actually switch over to the browser part real quick because I want to kind of look at these with you from the wiki. I always go to the wiki, probably one of the best wikis. Shout out wiki. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it's on the screen. Perfect. Let me just go over this with you so we can see them together, right? Because I don't really want to just get a bunch of screen grabs. Let's click on them, open them up in a tab. All right. So we'll start with, well, we're going to burn through these real quick, and then we'll go over them later with my opinion. So aberration, this is going to give you advantage against aberrations, and you actually get, what is it, 3 turns of something. So you touch your amulet with a bonus action, you'll get advantage on attack rolls against aberrations, which is kind of like a lithids, and this comes on short rest. Interesting. And then if you're a Githyanki, though, you get advantage on intelligence saving throws, and aberrations also have disadvantage against you. So really, if you're going to wear this for Githyanki, you get an advantage on intelligence saving throws. Cool. Let's go to the next one. There's quite a few here, so that should already tell you something pretty interesting, right? Okay, so the boots we actually used in combat. You get a free fly on long rest recharge. It's a bonus action. You get dexterity saving throws, but the Githyanki are going to get the ability to cast the fly, or rather, when they cast fly, any shape or form, I guess, their next melee weapon will deal additional psychic damage. All right.
Well,
And then
I am so glad you asked,
the
Edvard.
circlet of psionic revenge. Okay, so when you succeed a saving throw, the foe caused whoever caused it and try to attack you will take psychic damage. A Githyanki will also get a +1 intelligence, wisdom, and charisma bonus saving throws. Okay, pretty good defensive value there. Psionic ward armor. Hey, we're wearing that. That's pretty cool. This is going to give you resistance to psychic damage, right? And if the, what is it? I think if it's Githyanki wears it. I don't know based on the wiki what it's saying here, but let's actually go in game real quick. And you can read it on the screen while I read it in game. Gale has it, right? Okay. There we go. So, Githyanki also get, no, that's that. Okay. Lae'zel has the armor on, my bad. Okay. So, if the item detects that the wearer is Gith, they have resistance to psychic. Then, whenever the wearer succeeds on a saving throw against the spell, they get a little 1d4 heal. Okay, so little clarification there, but usually the wiki's pretty good at saying this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm retarded. I can't even read. If the item detects the wearer as a Gith, you get the benefits. Okay. Then we have 2 swords. The Soul Breaker, Great Sword. Basically, if you're a Gith, you will get additional psychic damage on this weapon. No, this doesn't relate to it, but you do get a bonus initiative, Gith or not, just by using the sword. And it's a good +1 sword you get pretty early, so that's cool. And then finally, the sword everyone knows, the 98% chance at level 3, or you can get it for free with a bear. Okay, so everyone knows the legendary sword, but do you know that you also get a 1d6 psychic damage for wielding this as a Githyanki? And also, Giths will hold, if they hold this weapon, they will have advantage on the intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and they get resistance to psychic damage, and they cannot be charmed. Okay, a lot more value on this weapon, it seems. But that's all the bonuses they literally get. There is one other factor I want to talk about, but I want to talk about it after we loop back. So just as a reminder and a refresh, remember you're getting a level 1, level 3, and level 5 little bonus free spells. These are all only on long rests. They don't spend spell slots, pretty good value, and it doesn't matter what class, so consider that. Martial Prodigy if you want some medium armor, or maybe you want these weapon proficiencies, right? And then you also get, right out the gate, Astral Knowledge, and you can change your proficiencies on the fly per long rest, right? Finally, there's some unique gear, so wow, probably more than any other, race in the game. So let's actually... I'm going to inject my opinion on this stuff now. And let's just get it out of the way. I like Githyanki. They're way cooler than I thought they were going to be for a bunch of space frogs, and who doesn't like Bazel, right? So let me knock this out of the way and put these notes up. Here we go. So let's go back over it again. So when it comes to Githyanki psionics, right? So we just showed you with Githyanki psionics, jump, mage hand, misty step. It was cool how in the battle I used the little guy to throw things, right? Once you realize you have to grab the base of the item, I guess. It's just, learning. Anyway, Mage Hand is one of those spells that is really good, like Minor Illusion and Silence. You don't realize how good it is until you're thinking out the box, or you've seen an example like that and go, you can do that? And then you're like, damn, Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. So good job, devs. But yeah, having Mage Hand is nice. It's just a bonus with everything else. That's great. Psionic Jump, I think there's so many ways to get big jump. This is kind of like, oh, it's nice that I can, since it's not ritual, it really kills the usability of this. Okay, then factor it that there's so many ways to get glorious vaulting, and like just Eldritch, what is it, Hunter, Eldritch Knight, a bunch of characters can just access the big jump, and it's on ritual once you have it through those classes that it's like, okay, I can always just big jump when I want, or if I'm a thief I can steal a million of these, or I can just buy them for free, or they just find them in the world. Like, it's not the biggest thing. So where this comes in value is like during the battle, I guess. If I need 10 turns of jump, at least it's not a concentration. Having a Misty Step on long rest is always a nice thing, but again, these are just perks like, okay, I get those for free. Cool. They don't cost spell slots. They come back. They're free. Doesn't matter how I build my character. I get it. Is this a consideration for a character? I don't know. But what you'll see is the reason I think Githyanki is pretty good is because basically it's better than the sum of its parts. This is kind of a weak part in my opinion. They're nice, but maybe you tell me in the comments if you disagree. Moving on though, Martial Prodigy. Okay, again, this is not... I don't think this is all that big of a deal. I'm going to be really straightforward. Just getting short proficiencies in the swords. If you're going to use these weapons, you probably already have proficiency. Case in point, I'm a fighter. I have proficiency in any weapon. If I'm going to be a fighter or any class that uses a weapon, unless you're doing something really out there like me, being hipster and contrarian, doing silly crap, like if you're just natively building for a weapon the normal way by going fighter or hunter, you're probably going to have the proficiency in the weapon you need. Okay, this isn't like I would like proficiency in hand crossbows or dual wielding or something. So unfortunately, I don't really think this is of any value, but yeah, there might be a wacky case for it. Now, medium armor, little different. In Act 1, especially if you're new, like, it's great having just free armor proficiency. It gives you flexibility until you understand the game a little better. But yeah, like, the more you play this game, the more you're like, I would just have this on the class or whatever I'm building. So it's more like all of these benefits are great as you're kind of planning out how the build would work over the course of the honor mode or something. It gives you some extra leeway, but it's not like, okay, that's not why I'm really picking the character or the class. Or like, oh, I'm playing Lae'zel this run, I'm going to do an origin run, and Lae'zel's going to be my main character. Like, that's cool, I'll plan with these in mind. I don't know if these are literally like, I'm going to go out of my way for this Githyanki, right? Looking right now, like, I just like frogs, that's why I want to play this one. Okay, now astral knowledge. Astral knowledge is really good. It's not amazingly good in my opinion, but like I said, what you can do with this is add all the proficiencies on here. You could do something silly like, I think it's Knowledge Cleric, lets you get another like choose your proficiencies thing, but let's just look at the Githyanki. So again, no matter what class and level 1, you're just going to be able to pop this and be like, today I'm feeling dexterous, okay? And you can just switch over to that. And the reason I find this valuable is, say your Githyanki character will inevitably be a thief or a stealthy character or need the acrobatics. Like, you can use that early on in Act 1, levels 3, 4, 5, whenever it gets kicking. And then once you have your expertise or proficiency from Rogue or Bard or whatever you're doing, you can just drop that like a rock and move on to Charisma, Wisdom, Intelligence. Here's the thing though, if we're looking at it, and I have to be very critical of this skill, there's... One, Constitution, there's no choices there. That's not a big deal, whatever. But Strength, you're not going to have a use for Strength proficiency. Tell me I'm wrong. But again, just like the weapon and armor proficiencies, if you care about this one little proficiency, you probably already have it, or you're in a stat, or your Hill Giant roided out, and you have this covered anyway. It's not... I mean, I don't want to get pushed around either, but if that's all you value, you might as well go Dexterity, because this also prevents you from being pushed, and you get the Stealth and Sleight of Hand benefits, okay? But regardless, I have a little video where... I guess we'll pull this up now, just kind of drive the point home a little bit. This is me running on legit honor mode, right? As just Lae'zel, running straight from the tutorial to the crash and seeing what happens, alright? So let me play this real quick. I want to just highlight this one spot where, you guessed it, we're going to talk to Voss, and I'll just show you, right? In here, I don't have any proficiencies whatsoever, and I think I do this right. Like, I pull up the... Yeah, okay, sweet. So I'm going to Guidance, right? And then earlier, I have the proficiency... Okay, I didn't get to show it, but... Earlier, I casted the proficiency on me, so I have Charisma proficiency, and so I'm going to talk to Voss and deceive him and be like, oh yeah, no, I was on my way to the crash, oh yeah, deception. You can see right there, I have the benefits. I'm looking at my choices because I haven't done this before. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just going to use the deception like I thought. So, okay, I don't have any proficiencies in persuasion and whatnot. I have guidance now, and then I pop astral knowledge, and like, there you go. Pretty cool. I just got free XP, and if I wanted to go to the crash super early as Lae'zel, okay, I'm free to go, right? And then I think Shadowheart interrupts me, and then I move on to the crash. But I just wanted to show you that pretty quickly. Find that pretty fascinating. Just one idea to use it, right? But yeah, let's dive back into this. So the fact that you can on the fly change to whatever proficiency you want, right, is pretty cool. Again, like I said, as the course of the game flows by, or if this is your main character, it just gives you that extra versatility, and that is a pretty valuable thing, especially the more you can think about how to use it. Let's go over that unique catalog of gear, shall we? I'm going to be brutally honest here. I don't think half of these are worth their salt, right? Let's look at this build with Gale, right? And this video is just an excuse to do my Psychic Warlock, but look at that Vicious Mockery, double damage with the Steeped in Bliss, cool, whatever. But if you, again, reminder, if you actually switch into Shapeshift into a Githyanki, you can use all these anyway. And so, as a reminder, you can do that. I'm also going to detract points, quote unquote, detract points, because if I could just switch with Shapeshifter, which is really not hard to get, and then I really want the benefit, if it even matters that much, I can use it if I want to, okay? And Shapeshifter is such a broken skill anyway, you might as well have it on a face character or playing around with it, trust me. But yeah, if I really want the benefits, I don't have to play as a Githyanki and can just switch into it. So you kind of lose a little something there, but I don't know if that detracts points from actually playing the guy. If you're always shifting into it, why didn't you just play as one? You know, it can go both ways. But this is one of the few ones where it matters. So you do get a decent bonus here, and this is like, I'm not going to build my character around this unless I'm already using a psychic damage with brain drain. I'm going to get the mental inhibition and yada yada yada, okay? Like, I don't even have this set up correctly. There's something a little off here, but listen, all I'm saying is this is not that valuable. But if you're a Githyanki or you shapeshift into one, this is a good bonus, okay? If you really want it. The problem is a held slot is extremely competitive. Like on Lae'zel, I could have taken that. She's Githyanki, but instead going for this like Gish warrior, psionic warrior, the arcane synergy is way more valuable here. I'm getting +4, potentially +5 more attack, and it's magical on my sword, right? That's pretty freaking cool. And there's a bunch of other good head slots. So that's a little psionic circlet. It's for one of the good ones, it's still not that great. The psionic boots, I did it just for the fun of the video, but like, come on, man. This is like, oh yeah, if I cast fly, I get a little extra psychic damage. Again, are you building for psychic damage? I did it where when I concentrate, I get psychic damage, and then I have, I guess, what, the psychic sword, and I don't know. It's just, it does have dexterity saving throws, but again, this is these two, I think, right here. I don't know, it says Githborn, but I think you can use the dexterity saving throw, I know that. But then I think you just get this, Gith or not. So the only thing you're getting for being Githyanki is if you're gonna use these, you get to fly and do a little extra with your, a little psychic damage with your weapon attack, right? And it's gotta be a melee weapon attack too, so you can't just fly as an archer. Okay. The Hunter's Amulet. This is the one where, okay. This is the one where you'll have advantage as a Githyanki against, like, let's just pull it up. Let's just pull it up. I gotta look at that. Okay. Let's go to it and read it out loud real quick. So, just as a reminder, if you are Githyanki wearing it, you will have advantage on intelligence saving throws. Aberrations will also have a disadvantage on attack rolls against you. Okay. And then, I don't think you need to be Githyanki, so touch your amulet. You will have for 3 turns advantage against aberrations. Okay, you can use this without being Githyanki, and this is like, how often do I really need to worry about intelligence saving throws? I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot. That's why I dump intelligence if I'm not using it. Aberrations, like how many Illithids do you actually fight across the game? Obviously there's the end game to consider, and so you can probably find more value with this thing later on. I just have never used it in a run to think like, whoa, so good. Okay, so that's just my opinion of the amulet. I don't know. Let's go back to page here, and then we cover the boots. The psionic armor, this is another one. We have it on Lae'zel more just for like looking like the Githyanki, not because this is an amazing build. So resistance to psychic damage, kind of good if you're using Steeped in Bliss with the let's show in game real quick. So the Steeped in Bliss condition right here, this comes from an item in Act 2, the very end of Act 2, hiding in my backpack here. If you don't know the Residence Stone, you need to know this thing if you're ever considering Psychic in your build. It's the reason that Warlock is pretty disgusting. But since I'm going to use Psychic damage, and that's also going to make me vulnerable to Psychic damage, that's a decent value to it, because this will grant me Psychic resistance. However, if we just jump right ahead to the Soulbreaker, or rather the Silver Sword of the Astral Plane, this already gives you resistance for being a Githyanki utilizing this weapon, so what's the point? Wearing this armor is literally blah. And it's the same armor class as her base armor when she starts the game, so it's like, okay. And oh, if you dodge a saving throw, you get a little heal. Great. Fantastic. And then there is the actual soul breaker, this is a great sword, and it's a great sword at that. It gives you, I think, +2 initiative, whether you're a Githyanki or not, and then you'll get a 1d4 of psychic damage if you're Githyanki. Again, just shapeshift if you really want that, but a little bit of psychic damage isn't the whole reason you're going to be running Soulbreaker. Now, Sword of the Astral Plane is objectively, in my opinion, oxymoron. This is a reason you would want to play Githyanki or shapeshift into one, because you are getting a decent dice roll of extra psychic damage. Again, steeped in bliss at this point. If you get this sword legitimate in Act 3, you would have double this dice roll, or whatever this damage is doubled because of the steeped in bliss resonance stone. Okay, so that's actually really good timing on getting this. You get it early with Voss, especially if you're a Githyanki on the quest helping Voss and whatnot. And then you get actually pretty good benefits. You get resistance to psychic damage. Again, that's going to help you if you're using the resonance stone, and then you're getting advantage on intelligence, wisdom, saving throws. Okay, so that kind of throws out a little bit of the amulet out the window, and it's a +3 sword, so like this would be a reason, especially if you're playing Bazel origin story or she's on your team. This is a cool build, right? A very lore friendly. And then of course they do get the Thunder Fairy Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. Just wanted to call that out there, but you'll have to look that one up. All right, so let's circle back. We already did. So here's my thoughts. We already went over them. That's just what I think. But I did say these guys are a little bit greater than the sum of their parts. So I know I've been talking a lot, and I'm going to keep talking a little bit more. But like I said, what I'm going to do is put this video back up and just kind of show you once again, like, you can just kind of get unique dialogue options. I was going to list this in the objective kind of list, right? But I think it's pretty important to notice, like when I started playing honor mode, and something I really love with the game right now is, and why I want to get people to play honor mode, is like you have to respect all the avenues you have available, and don't just sit there and be like, oh, this game sucks because I can't brute force it. It's like you have the ability to stealth kill, assassinate, steal things, talk your way out of stuff, fight, dogpile, lone wolf, big teams, whatever. And I think it's so cool, and the Githyanki kind of embody what I like about this game, where you have this deception option. You can kind of opt into it for the long rest day. That's a unique thing. That's worth it. Lae'zel, or just being a Githyanki, kind of adds to the story when you're playing through the game. And since the gameplay and the dialogue kind of interweave in the way I like it, where it's meaningful, and consequences in honor mode, you can't take them back. If I screwed this up, I would now have to like risk getting killed by my own Githyanki. It's like, well, that's a low blow, right? But if you know your way through the game and you're utilizing a racial like that, you can get through the game either easier or have a unique play style or a unique kind of experience through the game, which I really value. Not to mention, again, if you're playing a character like building Lae'zel here as your origin character, and she's set up like a psionic warrior, that's really cool, man. I like that. So what I mean by they're greater than the sum of their parts is I heavily criticize a lot of these things, in my opinion. I could be dead wrong, but even with my opinions that some of these aren't that valuable, it's still objectively like free spell slots. That's cool. Or spell abilities, not slots, right? Having medium armor proficiency, you were going to get that greatsword. We all know it. So you can use it, right? No matter what kind of Gith you go for, what kind of class you go for. The cool thing of having like your proficiencies, if do you need to be a dialogue character today? Are you far enough in the story that you need more of like an intellect? Do you think during this act you'll actually run? It just gives you more options to choose how you're going to play out those dialogue scenarios, and that enhances your story experience, right? And then of course there's the cool unique Githyanki gear. I don't necessarily think a lot of these are great, but it's cool to see so many valuable options. And then finally, on that note of greater than the sum of their parts, they are an integral part of the story without really getting into a lot of spoilers there, right? Those who know. If you don't enjoy the story as a Githyanki, you kind of get a whole different perspective, especially with Lae'zel's 2 different choices, main choices of going down the story, right? So it does bring that to the table, and then it comes into the gameplay with those dialogue choices, because I think Githyanki have the greatest amount of Githyanki, like dialogue specific choices for their race, which is really cool. And I guess somebody or a few people at Larian really wanted to show them some love. All you have to do is just get past their froggy looks. But yeah, obviously a little note about Bazel. She has a big integral part of the story. It plays out a little bit more in Act 3, but I would highly recommend. I haven't done this run yet, but I've had her in like as one of my main companions. I've played her as a monk. I've played her as a psionic fighter. I think she's really cool. Everybody likes Bazel once they get to know her a little bit, get past her hard exterior. But yeah, that's gonna kind of do it. I figured I'd just give a breakdown, and of course, I want to go back up here and do another shout out to Dakota and you guys for leaving comments. You can tell me my opinions are dumb and wrong, or you can drop another comment and let me know what you want me to cover next. But otherwise, I'll keep on trucking ahead. But hopefully this was a little fun for you. And of course, like I said, this is just an excuse to show this really cool great old one warlock with the psychic power. Dude, this thing slams people and you can pick people up and be like, Lazel, let's go for a ride. Come on, come on, just go over there. Okay, that's gonna do it. I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know what you guys think, but I'll check you out in the next one. Bye.